Hidden beneath the ancient capital of Xi'an, China, rests a silent army that has guarded the secrets of an emperor for over 2,000 years. Thousands of clay warriors stand frozen in battle formation, each face unique, each detail hauntingly lifelike. For centuries, they have guarded the eternal rest of the man who created them, China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. But these warriors are more than just statues. They are a riddle carved in clay, hiding secrets that modern science still struggles to explain. Some of their weapons remain sharp after 2 millennia. Some of their colors vanish mysteriously the moment they see daylight. Legends speak of rivers of mercury flowing inside the emperor's tomb and deadly traps waiting for anyone daring to disturb his slumber. Archaeologists stand at the edge of discovery, yet hesitate to take the final step. Why? Because opening the emperor's tomb might not only destroy priceless history, but also unleash something the world is not prepared to face. Today, we count down the top 6 creepiest secrets of the Terracotta Army and explore why even the bravest experts fear breaking the seal of Qin Shi Huang's mysterious tomb. Number 6, the vanishing colors of the Terracotta Army. When most people picture the Terracotta Army, they see rows of gray statues. But in truth, these warriors were once painted in vivid reds, purples, and blues, so lifelike that they seemed ready to march out of the earth. The discovery was breathtaking until the colors began to vanish. Within minutes of exposure to air, the paint cracked, peeled, and disappeared, leaving behind the dull clay we see today. In some cases, the loss happened in less than 15 minutes. The culprit was a fragile lacquer layer beneath the pigments. After centuries underground, it absorbed moisture. Once unearthed, contact with oxygen caused it to curl and flake, taking the paint with it. For archaeologists, it was a nightmare. History was vanishing before their eyes. Scientists have tried to preserve the pigments with chemicals and lab experiments. But a perfect solution still eludes them, and the paints themselves remain a mystery. The famous Chinese purple, for example, was a pigment requiring advanced chemistry and firing techniques far ahead of its time. How did Qin artisans create such colors? Were they using knowledge now lost to history? Some even suggest influences from distant cultures. What we know is this: the original army was not gray but dazzlingly colorful. And until science can preserve those pigments, the true face of Qin Shi Huang's underground empire remains a mystery we can only imagine. Number 5, weapons still razor-sharp after 2,000 years. When archaeologists unearthed the Terracotta Army, they knew the clay soldiers themselves would be extraordinary. But nothing could have prepared them for what they found beside the warriors. Hundreds of bronze swords, spears, and crossbow triggers that appeared almost untouched by time. Instead of corroded relics, many weapons gleamed as if they had been forged only yesterday. Some swords were so well preserved that they could still slice through paper with ease, an astonishing feat for objects buried underground for more than 2 millennia. This baffled researchers because bronze is not usually so resilient. Under normal conditions, centuries of exposure to soil and moisture should have left them dull, brittle, and eaten away by rust. The puzzle deepened when scientists studied the metal. They found that these weapons resisted corrosion in ways no ordinary bronze should. One explanation is that Qin craftsmen may have intentionally applied a protective coating. Traces of chromium were detected on some surfaces, leading to the bold theory that the ancient Chinese had developed a kind of anti-rust treatment. If this was indeed the case, it would place them nearly 2,000 years ahead of Europe, where chromium plating was only perfected in the 20th century. But the mystery doesn't end there. Was this preservation the result of deliberate engineering genius, an early form of advanced metallurgy? Or was it the product of fortunate soil chemistry, with unique conditions in the burial pits accidentally keeping the weapons intact? Scholars remain divided, and each new test seems to raise more questions than answers. What is certain, however, is that the Qin dynasty left behind a technological enigma. Whether by design or accident, their weapons stand as some of the most enduring artifacts in human history. Blades still sharp enough to remind us that the first emperor's army was meant to last forever. Number 4, no two faces alike. When you walk through the vast pits of the Terracotta Army, One thing quickly becomes clear. No two warriors look the same. Over 8,000 life-sized figures have been unearthed, yet each one has a unique face, hairstyle, and even expression. Some soldiers have stern brows and sharp jaws, while others appear calm, even gentle. The level of detail is astonishing. You can see wrinkles, mustaches, scars, and tiny variations in ear shapes. It almost feels like walking through a frozen crowd of real people from 2,200 years ago. Why would the Qin craftsmen put so much effort into individuality? One theory suggests that the sculptors may have used real soldiers as models, essentially immortalizing the emperor's actual army in clay. If true, this would mean the Terracotta Army is not just symbolic, but a direct reflection of the living Qin military, an army duplicated in the afterlife. Other scholars argue that molds were used for basic features, then customized by hand, combining mass production with personal detail. This explains why no two figures are identical, yet they still follow a consistent military style. The mystery remains. Were these statues truly portraits of real men who once served under Qin Shi Huang, or were they artistic creations meant to symbolize diversity and strength? Whatever the answer, the individuality of each warrior continues to captivate historians and visitors alike, making the Terracotta Army feel less like a sculpture collection and more like a silent, eternal battalion waiting for orders. Number 3. The Mercury mystery inside the mausoleum. Ancient Chinese texts describe something extraordinary inside the tomb of the first emperor. According to the records of the Grand Historian, the underground palace was said to contain flowing rivers, mighty seas, and vast oceans, all crafted entirely out of liquid mercury. For centuries, many dismissed this as myth or symbolic exaggeration. But in recent decades, modern scientific surveys have revealed unusually high concentrations of mercury in the soil above the mausoleum mound. Levels are so extreme that they cannot be explained by natural causes alone. Could this mean that deep underground there truly exists a vast sea of mercury, sealed away for more than 2,000 years? If true, it would not only confirm ancient writings, but also suggest an engineering feat far beyond what most people believed possible for the Qin dynasty. The mystery raises more questions than answers. How could ancient craftsmen have transported and contained such an immense volume of toxic liquid metal without it seeping away? Was mercury meant as a symbolic river for the emperor's eternal journey? Or was it believed to hold mystical, even alchemical powers of immortality? To this day, the tomb remains unexcavated, partly because of the danger posed by possible mercury contamination. And so the riddle continues, hidden beneath the earth, waiting for the moment when science and caution allow us to uncover what truly lies within. Number 2, the traps and curses of the tomb. Ancient records, particularly from the Shiji, the records of the Grand Historian, describe the mausoleum of China's first emperor as a fortress of hidden dangers. It was said to be filled with deadly crossbows, set to fire automatically at any intruder who dared enter. Other passages speak of flowing rivers of quicksand designed to swallow anyone who stumbled into the wrong passage. For centuries, these descriptions have fueled speculation about the true dangers lurking underground. Could the tomb still contain fully functional traps, waiting silently for over 2,000 years? Some archaeologists fear that opening the chamber without proper precautions might not only destroy invaluable relics, but could also unleash lethal mechanisms on those who enter. Adding to this fear is the legend of a powerful curse. Local tales warn that anyone who disturbs the emperor's eternal rest will face divine punishment. This belief has haunted researchers, giving the tomb an almost supernatural aura, part engineering marvel, part forbidden ground. Whether these accounts are exaggerated warnings or genuine security measures crafted by Qin engineers remains unknown. But the combination of possible traps, toxic mercury, and ancient superstition has made the mausoleum one of the most daunting archaeological mysteries in the world. To this day, no one has dared to fully open it. Number 1, why experts refuse to open the tomb. For over 2,000 years, the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang has remained sealed, untouched, and shrouded in mystery. Despite incredible advances in archaeology and technology, no team has ever dared to fully open the emperor's central burial chamber. Why? There are several reasons. The most obvious is preservation. Once the tomb is opened, the delicate artifacts, murals, and even the emperor's remains could decay rapidly when exposed to air and light. Archaeologists fear a disaster similar to other ancient sites, where priceless treasures crumbled to dust within hours of excavation. But preservation isn't the only concern. There are also unknown dangers. Ancient texts describe rivers of liquid mercury flowing through the tomb, and modern surveys confirm abnormally high mercury levels in the soil. Entering the chamber without proper precautions could mean deadly poisoning. On top of that, records mention hidden crossbows, traps, and mechanisms designed to kill intruders. Even after 2 millennia, no one can be sure whether those defenses are still active. And then comes the most unsettling possibility. What if the tomb holds secrets that could change history as we know it? Some believe that Qin Shi Huang may have buried forbidden texts, lost technologies, or even evidence that would rewrite the story of ancient China. If that's true, opening the tomb would be more than an archaeological project. It would be unleashing a truth the world may not be ready for. Until technology advances far enough to explore safely, the first emperor's final resting place will remain sealed. A monument to power, mystery, and the eternal fear of what lies beneath. For over 2,000 years, the tomb of China's first emperor has remained sealed, hiding its secrets beneath layers of earth, mercury, and mystery. Is it a treasure trove waiting to be revealed, or a deadly trap designed to last for eternity? Until the day archaeologists dare to open it, the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang will remain one of the greatest unsolved enigmas in human history. What do you think lies inside? Unimaginable treasures, ancient technologies, or perhaps a truth too dangerous to uncover? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because more mysteries from around the world are coming your way.